When you're hunting for a portable power station, the first thing you run into is the price. The really good ones cost a small fortune, and the ones that fit a tighter budget, say under $1,000, usually come with some kind of compromise. Maybe the build quality isn't great, maybe the battery capacity is weak, or sometimes the brand itself is a complete gamble. So finding something affordable and reliable isn't as easy as it sounds. Luckily, the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2 comes in that sweet spot. It sits under that $800 mark and still brings the kind of performance we expect from a power station we actually depend on outdoors. In this video, we'll share why this one stood out to us and whether it's the best option in this price range for camping and overlanding. One of the things we noticed right away is how different this second-gen model feels from the original Explorer 1000. Jackery didn't just tweak a few things and call it a new version. They went with a much better battery platform and management system. That alone gives you roughly 4 times the rated charge cycles, which is huge for anyone planning to use this regularly. The funny part is the newer tech came at a lower price, which isn't something we see very often. Out in the field, that upgrade shows. The V2 has been our go-to for multi-day camping trips, longer off-grid stays, and even as backup power at home. And the biggest compliment we can give it is this: we just don't think about it anymore. It works every time, without any drama. It doesn't randomly drop power, it doesn't overheat, and it doesn't struggle with common camping appliances. That reliability is pretty much why it lives in our rig most of the time. Now let's talk about the design, because this is one area where Jackery made smarter choices. The overall body is smaller, tighter, and easier to pack. And while it still has that unmistakable orange Jackery look, the V2 actually feels more refined. The fold-down handle might seem like a small update, but for us, it changed how we load gear. With the old fixed handle, you couldn't stack anything on top when space was tight. Now it folds flat, and suddenly the top becomes a usable surface in the camp kitchen or inside the rig. The weight also dropped a bit, sitting under 25 pounds, which is roughly around 10 kilograms. Not feather light, we'd say, but light enough that moving it in and out of the truck doesn't feel like work. Durability-wise, ours has held up very well. Side by side with other stations we've used just as much, the Explorer 1000 V2 looks noticeably cleaner with fewer scratches and less wear around the buttons and ports. That's something that starts to matter more once you've carried a power station in and out of vehicles a few dozen times. Now let's move to the ports. Everything's on the front, which we always appreciate. 3 AC outlets with pure sine wave, USB-A, a couple of USB-C ports, including a 100-watt one and a 12-volt carport. It's set up in a way that keeps all your plugs accessible without cords draping over the sides. For camping, that's a big plus, because you're often dealing with lanterns, fans, phones, lights, maybe a small cooler, maybe a camera battery. And having everything lined up is way easier than digging around the back of the unit. On the performance end, this thing pulls its weight. The 1,500-watt output opens the door for real-world power use, not just charging phones. We've run cooking appliances, heated up water, used fans and pumps, plugged in our camera gear, and charged laptops without seeing it flinch. The 1,070 watt-hour capacity comfortably covers multi-day trips if you're not running high-draw appliances non-stop. And if you combine it with solar, you can practically stay off-grid for as long as you want. Speaking of solar, that's another area where the Explorer 1000 V2 impressed us. Jackery's Solar Saga panels pair perfectly with it. 2 of the 200-watt panels can top the station in under 4 hours on a good day, while smaller panels will still get the job done, just slower. And the fact that we can track the input and output live on the front screen makes it easy to understand how the station is handling everything. The numbers are clear, readable, and don't require digging into a menu. Charging the station itself is straightforward. Normal AC charging takes around an hour and 40 minutes, and then there's the emergency supercharge option that pulls it from 0 to full in roughly an hour. That one honestly surprised us the first time. When you forget to charge the station the night before a trip, which we do more often than we'd like to admit, that supercharge mode can save the entire day. Inside, the lithium iron phosphate battery is really what makes this station a long-term investment. 4,000 cycles is way more than what the old lithium-ion models offered. That means you can go years before seeing major drops in performance. It's the kind of upgrade that quietly extends the lifespan of your gear without changing how you use it. Out at camp, this station blends in naturally with everything else we carry. It's quiet even while charging, and the cooling fans barely register unless you're listening for them. The front-facing design keeps everything neat, the fold-down handle makes it easier to tuck into tighter spots, and the flat top ends up being a surprisingly handy shelf for random camping items. It's the little things like that that add up over months of use. We also found the app support useful, especially when the station sits under a table or inside a corner of the tent. Being able to check power levels from the phone without moving anything around makes managing all the connected devices a whole lot smoother. There are only a couple of things we wish Jackery added. The top surface looks perfect for wireless charging, but we don't get that feature here. Not a deal breaker at all, but something that could have been a nice touch. And yes, for lighter single-day trips where you only need to charge phones and lights, the Explorer 300 still feels like the better pick simply because it's lighter and easier to handle. But once you step into multi-day camping or overlanding, the 1000 V2 gives you way more room to work with. So, after months of using the Jackery Explorer 1000 V2 across road trips, campsites, and off-grid setups, we think it's one of the best portable power stations you can get under $800 right now. It carries well, performs consistently, charges quickly, and has the kind of battery tech that sets it up for long-term reliability. If you camp regularly or run a setup with multiple devices, this one hits the sweet spot without getting oversized or overly complicated. That pretty much sums up our experience with the Explorer 1000 V2. Thanks for watching. Feel free to reveal your thoughts in the comments section and share this video if you find it helpful. And to know more about outdoor products, reviews, and buying guides, you can visit our website, gooutdoorzone.com.